just like my words. Synapses, fire and burst. Got the whole crew with me, about to do damage. You know we ain't average. I ain't gonna say this again, but it's in my time. Better look in my eyes. I'm a genius in the skies with my heart on my sleeve. You force you a block to a king in his prime. Everybody got a line. Sit back with the stars in line. I finesse like my life on the nine was a diamond in the rough, and now I shine.
No one could stop us, they'll try, but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no, we're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants. Yeah. Shutting it down. Been in the ground and my people all up in this place. Spinning this thing. Go to my rank. Royalty up in my veins. I'm loco, think I'm so cold. I say something, ain't no going back. Now they ask where Kiki's at. I'm like, you can't hang with that. 쏟아져 빛이 멀게 된 눈이 멈추지 않아. Once we go, 내게 더운 낼로 모든 뼈 빨리 달려. 넌 못 따라와. True damage we do it. True damage 보여줄게. 뭐든 쉽게. 이기든 지든 my crew make the beat. No one could stop us. They'll try, but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no, we're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're waiting, but we coming right back. This time you're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants.
I keep on shattering time. I might just leave you behind. Homie, you stuck on rewind. You just quit sleeping on mine. You got your back on reclined. When I damage your delicate spine, please don't act out, shy and surprised. They be like, what you mean? What is your winning scheme? I got a giant team. Biggest my self-esteem. Run it back, running man. They think they go hard, I'm like, come again. You run at a time and I'm busting in. While you stumbling, I got this blade in my hand for your punishment.
We're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're waiting, but we coming right back. This time you're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants.
Okay, so we're back with another day of KDL. It is Tuesday, June 29th, and we have two games lined up for you today. It's an INS doubleheader. First, we have INS versus C's, both two teams looking to get their first win, and later on we have INS versus DN, and that unfortunately I'm going to be casting in that game, playing that game, so I won't be able to cast for you guys, but you guys will be joined later by some extraordinary casters as well. But the casters we have today are myself, Rocket, and Crimson.
Yo, what's up? Like you said, doubleheader for INS. This is a fan favorite team, a team that is especially exciting and, thrilling to watch in their own right. I definitely think that, when it comes to the dynamic of INS, you need to think of their trials and tribulations when it comes to last season and kind of how they underperformed, compared to their expectations. And coming into this season with this new revamp, roster, new top lane, new jungle, new mid lane, so many components here for this INS roster. I really think that they want to turn it around with the win today versus SEES. Granted, SEES is a team that partially has played in the KDL before, but not fully as 5-ever. We really have a lot of newcomers and rookies, and so this team, if they really want to go for the gold, if they really want to chart their own path amongst the stars, they need to start here with the definitive win over INS. And hopefully, either of these teams start off their season with the first win today, because both of these teams right now are currently 0-2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's going to be the clash of the rookies, and hopefully someone finally gets it. Well, someone's going to get their first win today, and it's going to be quite exciting. And here we are, jumping straight into chance select. And
I recommend
time banning.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really surprised that we are going to be seeing that Lulu ban, right? I think that when it comes to the dynamic of INS, we need to make sure that we remember
Your skin
captain
getting there.
there, So Majestic, is in fact a support player originally. So that is going to be INS's Lulu being banned out away here. Immediate response with the Nocturne Akali. Akali going to be such a huge force, especially towards that top side, where they really like that Akali being played as opposed to the traditional mid style.
Right.
Nocturne as well, just the paranoia, just adding so much disillusion and disorganization when it comes to team fights. That is something that INS cannot allow to happen in this game if they really want to get going here.
Yeah, we also see the Seraphine ban against INS. Very good ban actually because almost not Taco and So Majestic, both players that like to play that Seraphine either in the mid or the support range, and it's good just to take out champions like that, just to make
Right.
sure that there's no flexibility there. And we see the
Ooh.
Ezreal pick, a very contested AD carry at the
Ooh.
moment, and
An immediate response with the Callista. Yeah, I mean, Kalista has been making her way, throughout the scene, especially seeing the prominent rise of this Kog'Maw with the Wits End rush into the eventual Kraken. I really like the Kalista. You also have that Nautilus as that secondary, pick here as that R2 response. This more than likely would be a Galio support. Instead, they are going to be going to Evelyn. Inting My Wrist is known for this Evelyn pick. He or she rather, has been able to carry games predominantly well on this Evelyn. So I'm very shocked that they didn't really want to prioritize it over a Caitlyn ban. I'm not quite sure what the Caitlyn is for. Maybe Rose on Solar Lunar has been playing, this Caitlyn pick tremendously, but nonetheless, they get the Ezreal, they get the Evelyn, and they get the Galio. A lot of comfort here, and they steal away Boo's Nautilus. This is a champion that she's just been spamming recently in the KDL. 0-2 start for her on the Nautilus, but potentially looking just to turn that around with the Galio pickup today.
Yeah, C is really denying a lot of picks, comfort picks for INS because Galio is both a mid laner and again is a tough pick for Taco and So Majestic. Both of them are known for
Okay.
playing it either support or mid, but then now we get the Zac from
I see you
INS, which is
left
going to work
shadows.
well with the Kalista. It just always being able to have an initiate for Nautilus to follow up on, or Nautilus to have another initiate to follow up after him, and it's going to be fantastic for team fights.
100% right. I really like the Callista pick here. Granted, Ezreal does have a winning matchup and a winning win rate against the Callista, sitting at a nice comfortable 51.35%. But that is still the 50-50, right? It tends to lean towards that engage. It tends to who is the Oathsworn in this Callista matchup. You have the Nautilus, such a huge tanky frontline, and then you pair it enough with another beefy frontline engage, such as Zac. It really is going to be difficult for the Ezreal to do anything if the bot lane, or even if the entirety of INS are ahead super early. I think Ezreal might need to pivot off of that Miramana second and go into Sorelda's, or even go into, possibly an early Executioner's to deny Callista from any type of shield bow healing.
Yeah, bit of an interesting series of bans. It seems that INS C's did do their research. They did ban the Riven against Park Jawan, who's probably I would say a one trick in terms of the top lane. Yes, I personally have looked at his match history and see he does play Riven when he does play top lane. But also an interesting Silas ban. It's kind of weird because
Mm-hmm.
you're not really concerned with him stealing
Ah.
your ults. It might be a comfort thing that you really don't want to want to deal with it. But Tristana being locked in, it's just might be a mid Tristana, I believe, because
Yeah, I
now.
mean,
Yeah.
this for sure is going to be a mid Tristana. My only question is that if you really wanted the mid Tristana blind, then why did you not do that on the R1 so that you might be able to, bait out a couple mid bands here and there?
Yeah, you'd also be able to just flex it, but then you don't reveal your AD pick. And worst case scenario, you get to pick the a better matchup for your support for your AD if you want to pick if they pick a support that kind of dumpsters
And then
your
they picked the
AD.
short range
Yeah,
Annie.
yeah.
They immediately answered the Trist pickup here into an Annie, of all things.
I think they're looking for team fights and maybe kind of front to back kind of plays, but it's gonna be really awkward because Galio and Evelyn don't really. Well, not Galio, sorry. Evelyn and Annie don't really lead to that because Annie and Evelyn are both pick-oriented champions. I'm not sure if any of these
Right.
champions are actually substitutes for others. It's possible, but I don't see any
Well, it
messages
is it
about
is
it.
for sure any mid here because the Tristana actually does have a 41% win rate against the any mid, and theoretically speaking, you are more so playing towards helping out jungle. You're playing for this jungle on this Annie pick because, like you said, you're somewhat playing like a pseudo support style when you do pick up the Annie. You're really looking for those hard engages. You're really looking just to turn the tide with the pick here and there. The flash forward with the Tibbers can do just so much if you have the stuns locked and procced. When it comes to the entirety of both of these comps, though, I'm really liking this Gwen pickup. I think that the INS roster has a lot of dependency right now on the frontline engage and just keeping their squishies alive. We're going to have to see how that pans out because, like you said, Evelyn, Gnar, these are champions that just love to dive deep. That being said, my money's on INS for this match.
I think I'm going to agree with that. I think INS is a better comp, but you know what? We're going to go into the 3-minute spectator delay, so we'll see you guys after that.
There's no time for redemption. Those flags you wave, will they hold up? Don't cry for your vengeance. It's right there to take. Oh, if you want it, the world is watching. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. I'll write your story down. It's your history. Pride and country. You could have everything. So bring home the glory alive. Go and rise for your nation. There's so much at stake. Will you show up? Oh, it's about damn time for a little salvation. Those flags you wave represent them. The world is watching. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. I'll write your story down. It's your history. Pride and country. You could have everything. So bring home the glory alive. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. So go and bring home the glory alive. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. Write your story down. It's your history. Pride and country. You could have everything. So bring home the glory alive.
All right, and we're back. We're just in the loading screen right now, waiting for everything to come up. I was talking to Krem about this during the champ select, not champ select, the 3-minute spectator delay, and it's pretty interesting to see Taco play that Tristana because he's typically not an AD carry player, which is we're excited to see how this pans out because he typically plays a lot of support-based mages, but considering that Galio was taken from him and then Karma is not on the board, it really seems like this game might pan out a lot differently than we would expect. But Annie hopefully can edge out the win against Tristana, or maybe Tristana can edge out the. I believe you said Tristana was 41% win rate against Annie.
Yeah, so Tristana is sitting at a sub 41% win rate right now into the Annie pick. Granted, it does seem like Annie is going to be playing for the sidelines, with this TP. You don't really see that too often. We really see the barrier or even that early ignite. If you really want to go for that kill lane, you go all in on that PTA early. You just WEN, get that Q proc off, 3 autos, and then basically the person's dead, right? I think when it comes to this game, however, seeing how they do have TP, it really feels like bot lane, especially playing around Vang, is going to be such a focal point. And speaking about the focal point around Vang, their superstar 80 carry galore, he does have the exhaust as well. So if they are able to get into a position where even if he does get engaged upon, they might be able to turn it around with the Ezreal, just being exhausted. And Ezreal is going to go that tier as well. So no base, Dorn's Blade health, no 80% health to start out, no, life steal, no added AD or anything like that. It's pretty much just a base stat Ezreal with the extra mana and with a little bit more, Qs than normal. That's about it. That's the only differentiator here that's stopping the Kalista from just wreaking havoc for the most part.
It's gonna be pretty interesting because Kallista's Halo Blades plus the early exhaust and taking both combat summoners in bot lane is gonna be very easy to level 2 cheese the bot lane there because Ezreal just doesn't have the stats. Although Galio may have the stats, they are ahead. They are behind because they took heal, which is not necessarily as useful when it
I'm
comes to a
I'm shocked
2v2 fight.
SES did not 5-point right now. They have no idea that Zach absolutely just got that ward off on the Raptors. Granted, I'm sure that they already assumed that Evelyn was going to be starting towards bot side, but now it just gives them so much information. Like, why is Annie hovering here when they could just be going mid immediately and just showing? They're just fully stacking here, and they're actually just wasting time for the most part. 5 seconds left on the red buff to start. They know that it's going to be an Evelyn, clear there on the Q. The ward being spotted out now, nice from a little sweeper there from the Evelyn, forces her to get off of the Raptors start and just immediately go in for the regular red. But that's a couple seconds just lost right there. Meanwhile, we do have Matt Jihyun on the Zac pick, who already has started and completed the red buff by the time Evelyn is pathing down now to Krugs. Oh, nice little hook there. A hook, line, and sinker lands right upon Rose there on this Ezreal pick. They really need to be careful, but like I said earlier, you do have that Tristana kill lane, and the E actually does kind of get mitigated there from Annie's W.
Yeah, actually Annie getting that that ward kill gave her a little XP to get the level 2 a little sooner just to push off the Tristana from the lane. And kind of zoned the Tristana out a lot better than Annie you think would, but interesting enough, bot lane tried to go for that level 2 early level 1 cheese because Vang does have that Halo Blades and they both have those combat summoners, but they're not able to get it. They're a bit not on the same page because Vang did walk back to the 80 to the minions while Majestic did continue to walk up to the Ezreal landing that hook, but nothing came out of it. They both took a little HP damage, but you know what? In the end, it didn't really matter. Kind of awkward kind of way to cheese.
Oh, wow, that didn't even look like a hit. The Dredge Line does connect there. Nice little Ren just denies a little bit of health reach in there. Boo popping 1 potion already. Is going to be down 1 potion here. Meanwhile, we are looking at Majestic's, potion count as well, sitting nicely on these 2, just normal health pots. And then on top of that, they do have the additional, biscuits, total biscuits of rejuvenation there. For some reason, I forgot the name. I'm not quite sure what that Q was going to. It looked like they really wanted to get the stacks there off of the Galio Q to proc on the wave. Minions, unfortunately, not low enough. But nice little shove here. Give Zac all the momentum that they need and give Zac all the pressure that he needs to realistically just get this nice early scuttle here towards the bot side. But unfortunately for them, because of how they are super pushed, it doesn't really lead Zac in for a lot of, gank potential here in the bot lane. The bot lane of SES, for the most part, is just calmly and safely farming under tower without any real threat. Zac is priming the E. It's not going to result in much, though. He is just slightly out of range, and, even if you do want to go for it, there's still the threat of Ezreal having that E as well, having the Arcane Shift. So you got to know when to call it quits.
Yeah, it's going to be a little awkward because Boo is walking behind that Q, trying to get that. Oh, Jihan coming in mid, getting the E onto the...
Forces the flash out.
Man, that was
nice little play.
Yeah, get a free
I mean, it's
flash
just so unfortunate because there's no TP as well from the Annie, right? You're going this Annie kill lane with the Ignite. Whenever I see an Ignite, I assume that you really want to get things started around level 3. You're level 4 right now, or level 5, sorry. and you're just not able to get anything right now. Like, it's just such a disaster for you on this Annie pick, because even if you do back, it just leaves in so much of a threat there for Tristana immediately to be able to TP around the map, or even TP in the lane and just shove it out. Now INS is backing up slowly, and they are allowing a little bit of a wave to accumulate for the most part. But I think that, you know, what's done is done. They had the opportunity early game to be able to get these nice, clean, easy ganks off. And now it's just, you know, kind of suffering. But meanwhile, we are going to be seeing a gank mid, and without any flash, without any barrier, that is going to be a dead little girl there. I'm not quite sure why I said that, but Ezreal now going to be hit with the dredge line as well. Boo is going to be stunned up by that auto attack on the Galio. Guys, I meant Annie, okay? I meant Annie. Someone was saying I have so many voice lines. I need to try out some new ones.
Yeah, I don't think that's the voice line you want to.
That is not going to be a voice
definitely
line
not
that I'm
one of
going to
those.
keep there for sure. No.
Yeah, so now that
Man.
the Tristana has an early lead, she could push a lot faster and kind of force Annie back into her turret, because she will be having to spam that W over and over again just to keep up with the Tristana wave clear. Now Tristana's going to be able to get those early rotates around. Is going to be able to grab things like Rift Herald along the Zac, because as long as you have a high damage carry like Tristana and then a high CC jungler like Zac, most objectives are going to be able to be easily contested, because now that Tristana's like level 6 and level 5 and has the Noon Quiver, they can get the early drag, because Zac is able to tank that early and has a lot of percent health. So we'll see how that plays out. But Boo getting the Annie getting the level 6 ahead of Tristana because of the way the wave ended up. Annie will be getting the rotate, trying to look for something, trying to get a deep warp, but to find out the Zac, but only to realize that he's not there at all. And the Zac is trying to look for something top lane, as well as Evelyn, and they might meet each other here. Evelyn level 6, and Zac not level 6, unable to get that, not able to take that fight because the stat difference and the ability difference is just going to make a huge difference, and it's not a fight that Zac wants to take.
I'm
despite
not
having
surprised. I'm not surprised about, you know, the reactive nature of SEES right now when it comes to playing around this Galio. I am more surprised though that the Nautilus is not really playing up in the lane at all. You know, there's kind of a fear there once you do miss out on the dredge line that, you know, you might as well just give up on the play. Evelyn actually just allowed Tristana to get out. She actually wanted to get closer, and Evelyn is going to be spotted up on that pink ward. Tristana in turn should be able to get this pink ward in the pixel properly fine as well. Parchi1 immediately now TPing in the top side. He does have this ignite, and the ignite is going to be ticking down right on top of Meganar. W coming out for Gwen as well, but how balanced is Gwen indeed? And now it is going to be the Kalista. The exhaust comes out. Remember that exhaust I mentioned, and it's paying homage here. Look at Vang and the kiting. Is there no stopping this guy? One more auto attack, don't even need it, and he somehow is able to get it going. Oh my god. And that will be the Annie who gets that kill. The TP did come in from the Tristana to save him, but Evelyn lives with a chinny chin chin of a sliver of HP to her name. And wow, that is unfortunate for you if you are the top side of INS, but the bot side of INS getting in gear and rearing to pass go.
Man, what an intense fight. Kills all around a total, I believe that's an ace. No, sorry, not an ace. Wow, I don't even know what's on what team. I take that back. I never said anything.
It was about it was about
Was it
2 for 2. Or 3 for 2, yeah, because Bride did end up killing the Gnar, Zac, Tristana going down to Evelyn and Annie respectively, and then Vang absolutely putting on his Smurf shoes saying, you know what, I've seen Reckless do this before, it's my turn to show. Actually, Bride really needs to be careful here. It's going to be using that W. Second cast is going to be coming out as well. Not in time to deny that Gnar's grass proc though, so Gnar will be able to survive and stay in the lane. A little bit tankier than expected. No TP on Gwen as well, so this surely does mean that a plate at least will go down here towards the top side. But Vang already sitting on a nice little 15 CS lead, and Gnar, I'm
Just
not quite sure what
backing and
that
not
is.
taking the
Gnar
plate.
moment. You know, it happens. Maybe there is miscommunication. Maybe they're just not timing the TPs. Who knows? But perfect for Bri, I guess, because he can actually just set up a nice little freeze there. Like, the Gnar actually perfectly set that up. And if you are SES, this is really going to bite you in the behind when it comes to later on in these team fights and engages. The Dragon is spawned up right now. We do see Tristana just hovering it around. Leak on the Annie is looking to engage here. He does have the flash. He does have the Timbers ultimate available. But we're going to need to see whether or not Tristana is able to get that read off. Right now, the Tristana got that first kill of the game. And not much else has, you know, really come out at that. Evelyn now in the Shroud here. Is not going to be spotted up by anything. The bot lane of INS are completely oblivious to the Evelyn's position here. It's going to be a dangerous play here. Directive camera.
Very calculated. Okay, you know what? I'll do it myself.
Evelyn is just teetering back and forth here. They're really, I think what they're expecting is that they're expecting Majestic to actually queue in on either the Gnar or the Ezreal in turn, and leaving her dead for the water there. They actually do get that Evelyn to back out. Boo might actually get caught out here. The E does land right on top of Boo. The Q surprisingly misses from the Zac. I'm not quite sure what that was, but look at this! The charm of Evelyn, she is in the backside, uses that ultimate, immediately just deletes Vang, and unfortunately for Taco, he does get stun locked as well, so there is no rotating or helping him for his bot lane. And for that matter, that's such a good collapse there for the jungle of SES. Really big play there to shut down Vang, to get a lot going for Rose here on this Ezreal pick. What is going on here? Taco is just inting. He stays underneath the tower with a sliver of HP. They're gonna donate the kill, but it's Majestic who gets the shutdown instead. Unfortunate stuff for them. It was literally just the aftershock last hit coupled with the tower shot that gives her that last final hit that they needed to secure the kill onto Leak, onto the Annie. Brian Turn is looking to get things going with his second plate up the game. But for INS, you surely don't want to make this a trend at all.
Yeah, trying to get taking these micro losses in these small like 3v3 or 2v1 situations where you ended up going 1-1 in the end, or going 0-1 in the end. It doesn't really help in any situation because your team is looking to maintain a lead, especially with that Zac, Kalista, and Nautilus core, where you have a double front line for your double AD carry comp. It's gonna be very important to make sure that your AD carries are able to just free hit like that. And when Evelyn gets a kill like that on that Kalista just sneaking up on them and gets a decent shutdown, then the Annie is able to just nuke someone out with their AP damage. It's gonna be very hard to just make sure that your AD carries are doing anything.
Zaki now will actually get that pick on top of the Annie, and Evelyn, sorry, flash forward into a nice little E cut down there. Evelyn just absolutely a force to be reckoned with right now. 202, about 80% off the KP right now when it comes to SES overall. Really needs to be careful. Boo getting hit with that dredge line. Look at Vang just go. Do you really want to taunt the Kalista? Immediate rend makes him a porcupine. Oh my goodness.
Pretty sure porcupines have them in there and not taken out, but I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, I meant like the Ren stacks, like.
Oh yeah,
you
okay,
know,
yeah, I got you. Okay, yeah, right over my head. But I see he's taking a lot of small victories like this, getting the.
Oh, the Zaki is actually charging up. They actually did spot out this Evelyn as well. Evelyn has the ult. The flash forward from the Zac, kind of questionable. Taco really wants to go back in, but is he aware of his HP?
And Minchu Oge just gets to walk out of that like it was nothing.
Oh no! So what Zac tried doing is flash ulting so that it would actually cancel out the Evelyn before she was able to proc her ult, but it was slightly too late, and as a result, immediately Evelyn is able just to ult back to the original position Zac was in prior to the flash, and so it's kind of like a, you know, you switch places with me type of scenario, and everyone gets out for free, especially Taco, who wanted to re-engage that with barely any HP to his name. I really feel like he's playing up for no apparent reason, and that might actually come to bite INS in the behind again. Oh my goodness, Majestic is actually really pathing here towards the hook. I think that they might be wary of where the Evelyn is specifically, but they do have a little bit of a ward there that should show that the Krugs are being taken right now, just right outside of that Krug pit.
Don't believe it does.
Oh my goodness, that's so unfortunate. They don't see the Qs here? Surely they do, right? No, they do, because Taco's actually pathing down.
Oh, I don't think they do. You have to actively be looking for that. I think unless you show
Wow.
slightly, it's gonna be very hard to actually notice that unless you're really think, okay, she has to be doing Krugs at this point. So
That is
that
just
dredge
so
line going a
unfortunate.
little wide there. So Majestic and Boo are playing awfully behind their AD carries, which is a bit confusing considering they're both frontline ADs and they kind of just want to go at it sometimes.
Right.
And INS comps definitely win that, and because they have the Hail Blades and they do have that item lead, the Ezreal deciding to go with the Essence Reaver. The Dredge Line
Oh.
does land on the Galio, and
Yeah,
Galio
hold that thought though for a second. Look at Boo just get lit up. Oh my god, the flash forward to cancel out that E. Is Vang actually smurfing or what? Now Majestic is here as well. Surely they give this to Vang, and he gets another double kill for his trouble. Make it double. 5-1-0 for the start here. Evelyn is looking to equalize things out, saying, you know what, you can't be the only one who's fed in this game. I need to be ultra fed as well. Leak is making his way downtown, faces past, and he's Dragon Pit bound. Evelyn is just right behind them as well. They know that this is happening. Zach priming that E, not close enough. The Proto Boat there, nice little two-man Q just to bring them back to speed. Flash forward from Annie is able to collapse and kill Vang. Nar with his own TP is able to get his ult down. Gwen now in the back line as well, using her own ultimate. The W does come out. It's Majestic versus the Gnar in the back line. Majestic surely will go down. Zach is going to be up here just in a second. The W does come out now as well. The Ezreal, a true shot barrage coming out here, not hitting anyone. Unfortunately, Taco was on the other side, so he's able just to match this entrance from the Gnar. Boo wants to go in here with the E taunt. Taco, why did you just W out? He actually uses that rocket jump out for some reason. Evelyn is still around here. Matt has no passive, does get that point blank E, but he is going to get down here as well. Proto Belt out for style. Brian now looking to maximize things, goes forward with the Q, goes forward with the E. Solar Lunar here on this Ezreal pick. He is locked and loaded, coming out of his respawn here with a nice little buy on this Essence Reaver first item, interestingly enough. There is no Divine here. It's an interesting ER build instead. I'm not quite sure what I just saw. They could have collapsed on Boo, but for some reason, when you really needed to, Taco said, no, not today. I'm going to let you live.
I think it was a spur of the moment kind of panic thing where they weren't all on the same page and said, oh well, Boo's alone, kinda, and then there's a half HP Evelyn. You're not really sure where the Evelyn is, and you're not going to risk that kind of fight, especially when the Evelyn lately has been just behind your inner turret.
Okay, sorry, I looked away for a second. I heard the charm. My bad. My bad. I was
Charming,
like, uh-oh, it's
charming.
starting again. I'm getting charmed by Evelyn IRL. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, the SS Reaver pick from Ezreal is gonna be quite interesting. A lot of early damage and a lot of mana refund, but that's not really what you're looking for because the Divine Sunder, the 8%, even though it did get nerfed recently on Ezreal, the 8% of damage for max health, I believe is max health. You deal 8% max health damage on auto attacks after priming it. It's gonna be very important because you have big beefy boys like the Nautilus, Gwen, and the Zac who are just able to frontline and kind of do their thing. And if you're not able to get that damage down as Ezreal, you're kind of in a position where Evelyn and Annie are going to have to just clean up the fight, and you're going to have to rely on Gnar and Galli just to kind of stay around long enough. But although that is the problem, Evelyn and Annie are very strong right now, and they're able to kind of get that lead.
Now we are going to be seeing an engage here from the Callista. They know Boo is so squishy. Nice little rend. Oh my god, Vang, you monster. Absolutely able to read that Boo was actually going to flash it as well. So not only do they get the kill yet again on this Galio pick, but they get a free little flash there. These cheeky little players here, these little sussy bakas in the bot lane are surely doing the most here. Oh wow, they actually did get Taco. Taco, nice little usage there of that, I think it's Bucker near shot?
Buckshot?
Buster shot. There you go.
Like
Buster shot there. Nice little usage of the ult just to stop the Tristana in her tracks. The Evelyn does have flash, does have the ultimate available. The flash immediately going to be coupled with the ultimate. I don't think that they had to flash, to be honest. I really think that they were, they could have just dodged out on that E, but they will be down to some and the ultimate. Bri on the Gwen pick, 2-0-1 Gwen moment for sure right now. If there is going to be a champion, if there is going to be a character that helps Vang and is his, duo here in this game, it surely is going to be that top Gwen pickup.
Definitely not the Sworn Nautilus, but like you said, the Gwen is gonna be the one that helps carry the game because she is the primary source of AP damage, and she's gonna be incredibly tanky and be able to sustain very well because she has that Rift Maker, and it's just as long as that Zac and Gwen keep things in place for them, they're gonna be doing just fine. But we'll have to see how Vang is able to carry this game.
12 stacks for the Magi's. It's not looking really exciting for you if you are going to be Vang at all. You know, you are really, really squishy on this Kalista pick. It's not super ideal. You know, you also did draft Squish in the mid lane as well with the Tristana. You do have a scaling comp, I guess, but it just depends on whether or not you actually are going to be able to get to that scaling. You know, at the end of the day, this game is still incredibly close. Only about a 2k goal lead, or just sub 2k goal lead at this point. Nautilus is just clearing out wards. I do want to just note, because I don't think that they get enough credit, and I'm not simping, but Majestic has been playing really good this game right now. Like, I don't know what is going on, but 9 KP out of a total 11. Vang and Majestic seem to be doing no wrong right now. You know, granted, they did give over a couple kills over to the Evelyn, but for the most part, they have really quieted out this Ezreal pick. It's just really looking, you know, very, very nice right now for them, and setting them up and allowing them to try to hopefully, you know, scale out and carry the game for the most part. Mid and jungle right now are trying to force this Baron, interestingly enough, here on the side of SEES. They think that they have enough damage, and I think that they actually might be right here. No one is going to be able to check this up, so they're going to be able to two-man the Baron at 20 minutes immediately as it spawns out.
Yeah, Annie has Demonic Embrace and Leandry, which is insane amount of percent health damage, and they get it for free without them even knowing. And now the lanes are just going to be very strong for C's. So
Zac priming that E. The E does go out. Arcane Shift nicely being used there. Oh, nice little ultimate there to bring Majestic right in front of the Galio to deny any type of E disengage there or escape. Like I've been saying, these two are playing out of their mind right now. The dragon here is spawning in 6 seconds. It is going to be an Infernal second dragon at the game, so we potentially could be looking at a Mountain or Ocean Soul. But they actually want to go for the gold. They want to go for first tower gold. The local gold gets shared between 3. True Shot Barrage going to be dodged out nicely. Time there from that little step dodge there from the Kalista. And then immediately going into the dragon here, they have the Kalista Ren stack, so they really shouldn't be too scared of any type of, you know, steal here from Evelyn. Tristana going to be using that Buster Shot just to push Annie away, and he did lock him up with the stun lock there. Evelyn really trying to get into this pit right now. No flash available. I don't believe no blast cone either. And it will be an Infernal Dragon now going to the side of INS. They are down 400 gold as a result of losing that Baron. I think that without the Baron, they would be up because Baron gives you, what is it, 1,000 base, I'm pretty sure?
1,500 because 300.
Yeah, it's like something around there.
Yeah. So they're about
Sneaky
even.
Baron Mamma Mia. Yeah, 100%. That is going to be, you know, a Hyundai Baron Subaru play.
Something Red Bull, Ace, Bud Light, something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're looking at a Bud Light Ace. We're looking at the State Farm Baron. It's the State Farm Baron. Should
Honda,
be the Nest
the
T
Honda
Baron.
Hidden Baron or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Something-
the
something
non-alcoholic Baron.
fancy. Exactly. Anyway.
The fizzy apple juice Baron.
Ooh, a cider.
Yeah, and it will be the tower here that gets taken out in the top side as well. So right now INS are down 2 towers. I'm not quite sure how, but that Dredgeline actually did connect the flashpoint from Kalista. He wants in. Immediate flash from Rose now as well. Look at him. They're toying with them. Kenny, don't play with your food. And look at the Tristana immediately going to be deleted, baby boy. And it is Zac who gets procced in his passive as well. Tibbers doesn't even care. He wants more damage. But will Zac be able to turn this? No. It will be Evelyn who gets that nice little double for her trouble. Oh my goodness. What an incredible play here. Bri really needs to be careful.
Yeah, that was quite the interesting play. The bot lane is really strong, and that's just going to have to work around the Annie and Evelyn core, and if hopefully Majestic can keep Vang clear. But then,
Wow, they get tier 2. But they trade off a tier 2. Unless Bri moment uses that first phase of the ultimate, uses the second. He has one more since it hit. It is Evelyn. It is Galio down here in the bot lane. Vang trying to do his best. The Ren does come out, but it's not going to be enough. They, interestingly enough, really want to re-engage here on Boo. Boo actually does use the ultimate, so it brings her closer. The Dredge line now right on top of the Evelyn. It will be a double kill over to the Kalista. 10 and 2. Kalista, they trade off on another tier 2 right now. They are down 4 towers, but they get so much out of bot lane. If Kalista does not carry this game, oh my goodness, it's just so sad for them. Brian now looking to get this mid tower. Meanwhile, Taco had other plans on getting the red buff. I surely think that they could have got that mid tower together, but it will be Brian, unfortunately, who has to wait out for the next wave instead of just using the Tristana's E just to destroy the tower easily.
And that's the kind of...
Oh, he's not even going to be able to get it!
Oh, he doesn't get it.
Oh no!
Oh man, that's gonna be unfortunate because now that the Evelyn and the Annie have opened up mid, with taking the top inner and the mid inner, there's just complete control of the map for Evelyn just to sneak around, and it's gonna be very difficult for Vang to just avoid that Evelyn at all costs. It's gonna be up to Majestic to just find her and lock her down, and they just have to blow her up before Evelyn gets a chance to do anything. But
Holy smokes, Vang is putting INS on his shoulders and his back, and I can hear his bones cracking right now. 28 minutes, he has 10 KP out of the 15 total on this team. If you ever needed a hero in shining armor, he is the man for you. And it will be, unfortunately, Willow, who surely will go down here for her first death in this match, and they do give it over to the Annie, so it will not be a flawless game for her, unfortunately. And meanwhile, they are going to be taking out this pink ward and being able to establish vision here before third dragon. 125, they see the immediate smite now being used. Oh, Zach nicely able to hit the Evelyn here with the Q. 4 members of SEES are making their way here. So they are 4 members strong versus 3. Nara now pathing as well, trying to chase down Taco outside of his own top lane. It's looking very, very exciting and scary at the same time.
at this point, it's up to the goal is for Vang to just kind of put the rest of the team on their back and look for team fights around major objectives like, you know, this dragon and the next Baron potentially. But the way that they're C's is playing is that they're playing around this Evelyn, kind of just hovering in their jungle, because all they need to do is just C's need to do is slowly siege each turret and take everything slowly to make sure that they just kind of
Bri actually just TP's in. And the Evelyn is on the backside as well. He's just gonna die here for no apparent reason. And they give it over to the Evelyn. Just another shutdown gold. Zach is here as well. Does get that nice little Q off. Willow on the backside is able to get the Q onto Annie as well. That is the Zach without his passive, so they really need to be careful. Willow gets to shut down off of Annie. Nice little flash out to deny any type of re-engage from Evelyn. And they spend so much and they get so little, but at least they traded off 1 for 1. Oh my god! That Gnar was looking to go in, but Taco had other plans. Rocket jumps out of safety there.
Man, how strong is that rocket jump? Just nullifying CC in the last half second.
Whoa, Kalista's just 1v9 right now. She really is feeling herself. They give up the second dragon here, or third dragon rather, mountain dragon. It is going to be a mountain soul. So whichever team is able to stack up these resistances is just going to be able just to predominantly, you know, smash through any of these team fights. And right now, SES are the front runners of this dragon fight. Or dragon race rather.
Yeah, they just have complete control of the bottom of the map because of just the objectives they've taken, and it's just gonna be unfortunate for INS, but they still have to look for something for fights and trying to get that early vision to make sure that everything is spotted out and the Zac and Nautilus can CC lock someone, because they did CC lock that Annie. They didn't have a lot of damage, but a lot of residual damage from the Sunfire and just Ignite did manage to kill the Annie, which is going to be important, but if they don't have that damage, it doesn't matter what they do, so they have to get that early vision.
Okay, I was just about to say, I think Bri is going to be, or sorry, not Bri. I think Vang is going to be going the Bork here for the extra health percentage damage plus the movement speed, but it does look like he is going, yeah, he is going to be going Bloodthirster instead, so.
Yeah, the Tristana a few hundred gold shy from her Wit's End as well, so everyone's heavily stacking the MR. We got the Pendant from Gwen, we have the Visage from, what's that champion's name? Zach. And we have the Wit's End from both the both 80 carries. Hopefully that's going to be enough to keep the 80 carries alive, but we'll have to hope, because that Evelyn does have 16 stack on her Magi's and the Void Staff already, so most of it's going to be not very important, but she doesn't have that she only has tier 1 boots, which is interesting because you think you'd want to get the tier 2 boots sooner to make sure you could sneak around and kind of look for those stray catches like this Callisto trying to push up onto the Evelyn, Gnar, but the Evelyn doesn't get to find anything, unfortunately. Oh, this is the old Dustblade build from this Ezreal. Get the SSG Dustblade.
Oh my god, hold that thought though, they're looking for a re-engage there. Vang is just gonna get one shot there in the backside, and he is able to collapse on him. And oh my goodness, it is gonna be Bride 1v9 if they want a chance at winning this. Matt is able to trade it off. He will go down into passive form. Willow is just 1 HP. Evelyn able to secure the kill as well. Evelyn still looking for a little bit more. Willow brings herself closer, but it's too little too late. Double kill already has been expunged onto the Evelyn. Evelyn is going to be able to back here, but I think they can go for the end here. What are they doing? They surely can end.
Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting play from Taka too, just jumping straight into the 4 of them and kind of ending that fight. But also, interestingly enough, they just want to take a slow, methodical victory because they did take those two that second bot turret and get the inhibitor in mid. So I think they're going to take the small victories. They can potentially they have a lot of control over Baron because now they do have there's no inhibitor turret from bot side anymore either. So they just have two open inhibitors where the Gnar can just walk in, or the Evelyn can or the Nanny can just walk in, and they just rely on the rest of them doing damage to the Baron to kind of sneak it and just push to end the game. But this is the problem when you have a strong bot lane, but you kind of don't rotate around to turn the advantage into other lanes. It's just it's really unfortunate.
It's so sad because the Gnar has a bounty, or at least he just did on your screen, without even getting a kill. He has no KP, and he's just been farming AFK on his own, regard. It's really sad because all the gold right now is just on the Kalista, and as we just saw, Kalista playing so far forward and just so, squishy that he just gets one shot, and he might just get one shot here. What are you doing? Run! Oh no! Will he get shut down here? Holy smokes, he's able to turn it!
50% HP just popped instantly.
He's able to turn it! No way, Vang! What was that? He absolutely says we're not going to be losing this game today! Oh my god!
Such a huge shutdown, because then you secure that Bloodthirster and you have just that little extra healing just to make sure that Evelyn doesn't pop you instantly. Man, that...
Paco gonna go for an insect? No! Why did he go forward alone? He uses that buster shot. Oh, Zac is here as well. Strikebreaker is gonna be used. It's Kenny on the flank, but it will be Zac with the dank shutdown there onto this Gnar. I had to transition that into something. And now the dragon is going to be spawned here within the next 30 seconds.
And yet, INS has no control over it, even though they killed the Gnar. The Evelyn is just going to make her way down. The Gwen is trying to get that top lane turret still, and they just don't have any sort of objective control, which is going to be unfortunate. Man, unfortunately, Majestic just got popped on her way out of the Callisto.
Oh, she has Mikhail's. Oh my god, Vang! Here she just gets stopped by the Annie! Oh, Boo is coming in, but it is going to be Evelyn who unfortunately just takes it. Evelyn now able just to get a nice little double for her own trouble. Now that is going to be a triple kill. Oh my god, Soul Point as well going over to the side of SEES.
That was very unfortunate for Vang, just trapped in a trifecta of 3 opponents they don't want to deal
I'm
with.
not quite
Annie,
sure what the Mikhail's is for. Annie?
And maybe the charm from Evelyn and the stun from Gnar, but those aren't really things you aren't really concerned about, because once those are on you, you get popped immediately. So something like a Knight's Vow would have been a lot more interesting, because it helps your survivability and also helps Vang out. But anyway, while I was saying that, they managed to C's managed to get the Baron here and kind of look to end the game, because now they have stronger waves, so they could just easily siege both open inhibitors, and it's going to be a rough time, because now that Vang is kind of without frontline, it's going to be up to Evelyn just to look for him and then just pop him.
Oh my god, they're playing so far forward. Majestic surely does go down here. The smite now going to be used right on top of her. ultimate now as well from the Evelyn. It is going to be Bri who immediately tries TPing in mid lane to do any kind of answer here. They're going to be responding with their own SES TP. Not quite sure what the Zach had in mind, but a huge 3-man Gnar ultimate in the backline. Double for Evelyn so far. It is Bri in his own W trying to do his best. 15-2 on this Evelyn pick. Oh my goodness, Rose coming alive in the nighttime, able to find the shutdown and find the secure on this Gwen, and surely that is game. SCES will progress and get their first win of the KDL season on INS.
Wow, what a game. They had such strong lanes on the bot side and just weren't able to transition. Evelyn just posture Sato won last time for the KD. It's all about the stats to make sure the Tana gets to keep them right. Unfortunate. Man, chat's just been going off about old school RuneScape, huh? Yeah, they really have. Well, that was quite the interesting game. Rookies of this season, ICs managed to take the victory and get their first win of the season. Hopefully, INS is able to turn it around this next game. Next game they play and get their first win. Actually, why am I saying that? I'm playing against them. I don't want them to beat me.
Well, yeah, it's really looking, very dire for INS. It's unfortunate because they had so much momentum in that bot lane, but they just weren't able to translate it out to the rest of the map. The rest of the map really felt short. When we look at these score lines, 2-7, 2-5, even Brian, unfortunately, 2-3, he was winning his lane, but up to a certain point, the Gnar wasn't even in the fights half of the time, and they still were losing 4v5. I think if you're INS, you're happy about your early game, kind of sad about your mid game.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. Well, they're going to be preparing for their next game, and I think we're just gonna pull, I believe,
C's.
C's into here for their winners
Right.
interview, while they prepare. So we're just gonna, since they have a back-to-back game, and we'll probably interview them later. So I think, there we go.
Yeah, we are going to be moving now
Yeah,
onto
okay.
interviewing C's.
There we go.
Wait. Oh, okay. Now we're here. Okay. Wait, trash.
Oh, wait, there we go.
All
Trash.
right.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There you
Hello,
go.
C's. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did you ever think that you'd be pulled in for this part? Now, welcome. Congratulations, by the way, on your first ever KDL victory. Talk to me about, the difficulties leading up to this match and just, the sigh of relief getting this win today.
It was just I couldn't play last game, and
Yeah, that was kind of
yeah,
rough.
it was kind of rough.
Does it feel good to at least win this game and just kind of, validate your main roster?
Yes.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah.
Are you surprised that they allowed the Evelyn through or the Gnar through?
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah, I didn't
When it-
do much, but
When it comes to, that B1 on the Ezreal, is that something that you guys immediately always want to gravitate to? Because we have seen you guys on this Ezreal pocket pick, or I guess this, safe comfort first pick. Is this something that really, you guys want to play around, or is that more so something that's just incredibly safe for your bot lane?
it's just safer for our bot lane.
All right,
Yeah.
a team
Alright.
of a lot of words.
A lot of words.
Oh, just
Totally,
like,
man.
just like Jiu-Jitsu Tech.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, coming into your, your next couple of games here throughout the KDL, do you guys think it's going to be, as victorious as this game was for you guys with jungle being so dominant, or do you think that, you guys need to take it slow game by game?
I mean, personally, I feel fucking good that we won. Like,
Mhm.
I'm excited. I have momentum going into the next game.
I think we'll still probably just take it one game at a time and not get too ahead of ourselves. But
Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
get too cocky,
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, and thank you guys very much for the interview.
thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so I think at this point the stream is going to take a pause and we're going to be handing it off to I believe Stu and who are going to be your casters and hosts for the next game. There's going to be a small hiccup and it's going to be a quick break. So grab some water, grab something to drink, maybe something to eat, maybe, and we're going to be up with INS versus DN after this game, and we'll see you
So
guys.
what does DN stand for? What's DN?
That I just don't want to answer that question because
Well,
there's
my
one
friend E10 wants to know.
this yes. We'll find out after he's done practicing, right? Anyway, so we're gonna hand it off to Stu and Who, and we'll see you guys later. Okay? So stay tuned for INS versus DN. We're gonna go prepare for that game and be right back.